Martha Stewart served more jail time than Stanford's Brock Turner. Brock Turner will be released from jail Friday after serving 3 months for sexual assault. In March, Turner was found guilty of 3 counts of sexual assault for an attack on an unconscious woman near a dumpster in January 2015. He was sentenced to 6 months. It was a light sentence that thrust the high-profile case even further into the limelight. Prosecutors sought 6 years for Turner. Turner's father also came under fire for saying his son shouldn't have to go to prison for 20 minutes of action. The 21-year-old's jail sentence was cut in half for good behavior. Here's a look at people who served or were sentenced longer jail time. Martha Stewart. Stewart served 5 months in prison for lying to federal investigators about the stock sale. Teresa Giudice. Teresa Giudice of Real Housewives of New Jersey served 11 months for tax fraud and remained on home confinement until February. Her husband, Joe Giudice, recently started his 41-month sentence for the fraud charges. Robert Downey Jr. Downey was sentenced to 3 years in jail for drug-related charges in the 90s and spent a reasonable amount of time in and out of jail between 1996 and 2001 for drug use and possession. Man with 5.9 grams of weed. Ronald Hammond was charged with possession of 5.9 grams of marijuana in 2012 and is currently serving his 20-year sentencing, the Baltimore Sun reports. A man who was found with nearly 11 pounds of marijuana and at least 120 marijuana plants was sentenced in July to a year in jail and 3 years probation. Milwaukee teenager Matthew Hinkle, 16, was recently sentenced to 9 years in prison for fleeing an officer, hit and run, second-degree recklessly endangering safety, hijacking, resisting an officer and 2 counts of criminal damage to property. According to RAIN, 6 out of every 1,000 perpetrators of sexual assault will end up in prison.